In the midst of life's noise, where the heart races and the breath shortens, we sometimes forget that within us lies a hidden thread, a gentle current that connects body to soul, calm to chaos. It is called the vagus nerve, a mysterious pathway, carrying within it the secret language of healing. How often have we felt trapped in the weight of anxiety or imprisoned by memories of pain? We search outside for comfort, while forgetting that the body itself holds the map to renewal. Anna Ferguson, in her book The Vagus Nerve Reset, Train Your Body to Heal Stress, Trauma, and Anxiety, takes us on a journey inward, to rediscover this nerve of serenity, and to learn how to awaken its quiet power. This is not merely a medical explanation, nor a scientific theory. It is a call to return to ourselves, to listen to the whispers of the body, and to realize that healing begins not with escape, but with presence. So let us walk together in this episode, step by step, into the world of the vagus nerve, a world where science meets wisdom, and where the promise of calm awaits those who are ready to pause and reset. Chapter 1. What is the vagus nerve? Before we dive into the practices of healing, we must first understand the hidden hero of this book, the vagus nerve. Now, you may be wondering, what is this nerve, and why is it so important? Picture it as a great river beginning in the brainstem, flowing gently through the neck and branching deep into the chest and abdomen. Along its path, it connects to the heart, lungs, digestive system, and more. It is, in truth, the longest cranial nerve in the body, and the bridge that allows your brain to speak with your organs. But what makes it so special? The vagus nerve is the commander of the parasympathetic nervous system, the system of rest, repair, and recovery. If the sympathetic system is the accelerator driving us into fight or flight, the vagus is the brake pedal, reminding us to pause, breathe, and heal. Think of the last time you felt safe, deeply relaxed, maybe listening to the ocean or sitting in silence under a tree. Your heartbeat slowed, your breath became steady, your stomach felt light. That was your vagus nerve doing its job, signaling your body that it was safe to let go. But here's the challenge. In our modern world, where stress and uncertainty chase us daily, this nerve often gets turned off. When trauma strikes, or when anxiety builds, the vagus nerve becomes underactive, and the body is stuck in survival mode. The heart races, digestion suffers, the breath grows shallow. We feel on edge, as if danger never leaves. Anna Ferguson tells us that understanding this nerve is the first step toward reclaiming peace. Because once you know that this imbalance is not a weakness of character, but a physiological state, you begin to see hope. Your body is not your enemy. It is simply waiting for you to guide it back. So, when you feel trapped in tension, remember this. The key to calm is already inside you, running quietly from your brain to your belly. The vagus nerve is your body's natural reset button, waiting to be awakened. Chapter 2. How trauma and stress affect the nervous system. Now that we understand what the vagus nerve is, let us ask, why does it so often fail to bring us peace? The answer lies in the way trauma and stress reshape the nervous system. Think of your body as a guardian, always scanning the world for safety or danger. When a real threat appears, say a loud bang or a sudden accident, your sympathetic nervous system steps in like a soldier on high alert. Your heart races, adrenaline floods your blood, your muscles tighten. This is the ancient survival response: fight, flight, or freeze. This response is meant to be temporary. Once the danger passes, the parasympathetic system, led by the vagus nerve, should take over, slowing your heartbeat, calming your breath, and whispering to your body, "You're safe now." But here's the problem. For many of us, the danger doesn't feel like it ever ends. Past trauma can trap the nervous system in survival mode. Everyday stress, deadlines, financial pressure, relationship struggles, keeps the alarm bells ringing long after the fire has gone out. The vagus nerve is silenced, and the body forgets how to rest. Think about it. Have you ever laid in bed exhausted yet your mind kept racing? Or felt a tight stomach in moments of stress? That is your body's survival response refusing to switch off. Anna Ferguson calls this the chronic imbalance of the nervous system, where the accelerator is pressed down, but the brake never engages. Trauma, especially, has a lasting impact. The body stores those memories not just in the mind, but in the muscles, the heartbeat, even the breath, It's as if the nervous system is reliving the event over and over, unable to reset. That's why survivors of trauma often feel trapped, not because they are weak, but because their nervous system is stuck in overdrive. Here lies the great wisdom of the book. By learning to reawaken the vagus nerve, we can restore balance. We can teach the body to unlearn fear, to remember safety, and to finally let go. Healing is not about erasing the past, but about retraining the nervous system to live in the present without constant alarm. So I ask you, as you listen now, can you recall a moment when your body felt hijacked by stress? When you couldn't calm down even though nothing dangerous was happening? That was your nervous system crying for reset. And the vagus nerve holds the answer. Chapter 3. The Art of Resetting. Exercises and Techniques. Understanding the vagus nerve is only the beginning. The real transformation comes when we learn to activate it, to gently awaken this nerve of calm and remind our body how to rest, repair, and heal. Anna Ferguson calls this the art of resetting. But how do we reset? Let us walk through some of the practices together. 1. The breath, your inner anchor. Perhaps the simplest yet most powerful tool is the breath. Deep, slow breathing tells the vagus nerve, all is well. Try this. Inhale slowly through the nose for a count of 4. Hold for a brief pause. Then exhale gently for a count of 6 or 8. Notice how the longer exhale sends a signal of safety. It's like whispering to your body, you can relax now. This is not just relaxation. It is biological training, strengthening the vagus nerve to return you to balance. 2. The power of sound. Humming and chanting. Strange as it may seem, your voice can heal you. Humming, chanting, or even singing stimulates the vagus nerve because it runs through the throat and vocal cords. Have you ever felt lighter after singing your favorite song, or even humming softly to yourself? That vibration is medicine. Ferguson reminds us, let your voice be a bridge to calm. 3. Cold exposure, the awakening of the nerve. Another technique may surprise you. Cold. Splashing cold water on your face, ending your shower with a burst of cold, or even stepping outside into a cool breeze, activates the vagus nerve. The sudden temperature shift tells your nervous system to reset. You might feel an initial shock, but what follows is a surprising sense of clarity and calm. 4. Gentle movement and yoga. The body loves to move. Certain yoga poses, stretches, or even slow walks can stimulate vagal tone. Movements that involve twisting the spine, opening the chest, or simply mindful stretching reconnect the mind and body. Remember, trauma is stored not just in thought, but in the muscles. Movement helps release what words cannot. 5. Touch and connection. Finally, never underestimate the healing power of touch. A gentle hand on your chest, a safe embrace, or even placing your palms together in meditation activates the parasympathetic system. Human connection, eye contact, laughter, sharing, is itself vagal activation. We are wired to heal not only alone, but also together. Each of these practices is like a key. On its own, it opens a small door. But practiced regularly, with patience, they awaken the full strength of the vagus nerve. They teach your body a new language, the language of safety. So, I invite you now, even as you listen, to pause and take one slow breath, in and out. Feel how something shifts, even slightly. That shift is the beginning of healing. As Ferguson reminds us, the body is not broken. It is simply waiting for us to guide it home. Chapter 4. Healing as a Journey, Patience, Self-Care, and Renewal. Up to this point, we have uncovered the mystery of the vagus nerve. We have seen how trauma and stress can silence its voice, and we have walked through the practices that help awaken it again. But Anna Ferguson reminds us of something vital. Healing is not a quick fix. It is a journey. So often, we want results immediately. One deep breath, one cold shower, one yoga stretch, and we expect all our wounds to vanish. But the nervous system does not work this way. Just as trauma is layered, healing must also be layered. Gentle, steady, patient. Think of it like tending a garden. You cannot force the seed to bloom overnight. You water it, you give it light, you protect it from storms, and slowly it grows. The vagus nerve responds in the same way. Each time you breathe deeply, each time you hum, each time you choose rest instead of endless struggle, you are watering the garden of your nervous system. Ferguson emphasizes self-compassion here. Too often, when we fail to feel instant calm, we criticize ourselves. Why am I still anxious? Why can't I get over this? But this self-criticism only deepens the stress cycle. The truth is, the body has carried pain for years, sometimes decades. To expect it to reset in days is to be unfair to ourselves. Healing requires a new posture, kindness toward the self, listening instead of judging, allowing instead of forcing. It is in this patient self-care that the vagus nerve gradually remembers its song of calm. And let us not forget, renewal is not just about the absence of stress, but the presence of life. The vagus nerve is also linked to joy, creativity, digestion, sleep, even the warmth of connection. When it awakens, you do not just reduce anxiety, you rediscover the fullness of being alive. So I ask you, dear listener, what would happen if, instead of rushing your healing, you honored it as a sacred journey? What if each breath, each practice, was not a task to finish, but a gift you offer yourself? Ferguson's wisdom is clear. The vagus nerve is not simply a medical subject, it is a teacher. It teaches us patience, presence, and the art of beginning again. And perhaps this is the deepest truth of the book, that healing is not about becoming someone new, but about returning to who you truly are. In this journey through Anna Ferguson's The Vagus Nerve Reset, we discovered that within us lies a hidden bridge, the vagus nerve, carrying the possibility of calm, safety, and renewal. We saw how trauma and stress can trap the nervous system in survival mode, how the body forgets to rest, and how anxiety becomes a constant shadow. Yet we also learned that this shadow is not permanent. With breath, with sound, with movement, with touch, we can gently guide the body back to balance. Healing, Ferguson reminds us, is not an instant victory. It is a slow unfolding, like dawn rising after a long night. Each practice, each breath, each small choice toward kindness is a step on the path back home. So, dear listener, let this be your takeaway. Your body is not your enemy. It is your ally. It remembers pain, yes, but it also remembers peace. And with patience, you can awaken that memory again. A book may not be enough to change the whole world, but it can change the world within you. And from that inner shift, everything else begins. If you found a glimmer of light in today's journey, share it with someone who may need it. And stay with us here at Guide to Reads, where every book is not just words on a page, but a lantern lighting the path of life. Until next time, breathe deeply and trust that your healing has already begun.